full coverage concealer or a lighter coverage. I like to use a lighter coverage concealer on top of my foundation and then a fuller coverage concealer for underneath. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it to the outer corner now. And this concealer shade matches my foundation so well. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today's episode 6 for the back to basics for a makeup beginner. So today we're going to be talking all about concealers. So I have skin prep already done and one side of foundation already on my. So today let's first talk about the different concealers that are concealer types. So first one, most common one is liquid concealers. I really like to use liquid concealers, and we have potted concealers. Like, I don't have it anymore. I have no idea where it is. I think I got rid of it. But this Nars one, so great. A stick concealer. Stick concealers aren't really my favorite. I don't like to use them, so that's why I don't have one. I just like to stick with the liquid ones for myself. What we're going to use today. On one side, I'm going to show you on top how to apply concealer on top of the foundation, and on the other side, I'm going to talk about how to apply concealer underneath the foundation. So I'm going to use actually we're going to reverse it. So I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Hy-glam concealer on the underneath the foundation, and then on top, I'm going to use the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. Okay, so let's first actually start on the underneath the foundation side. So I'm going to take the concealer, and I'm actually not going to directly apply it to the face. I'm going to take some of this on the back of my hand, and this shade, by the way, is the shade N2. So I'm just going to take it on the back of my hand. I'm going to use one of my favorite concealer brushes. Let's use this one. I'm going to use the Nikki Rose and BK Beauty, the N16 brush. Just going to pick up a small amount of this. And again, work the concealer into the brush like when we would apply foundation. I'm just going to lightly apply that concealer the under eye area and kind of bring it down on the side of my nose just to kind of cancel out any of the discoloration on the side of the nose and the under eye. And also I just kind of like to kind of reverse contour the side of the nose. I also like to do that on the outer part of the eye, pressing that in. And then I am going to pick up a little bit more concealer on the back of my hand. And this is where I like to apply concealer to any blemish. So I'm just going to pat that over any blemish that I have. And then I'm also going to get around this area where I have a little bit of redness. And then that's it for this side. I'm going to quickly put on a light foundation on top of this, and then we can move on to the applying concealer on top of foundation. I'm just going to quickly mention what I used on top of the concealer. I used the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I've never used this on top of concealer or other things like underpainting before, and I actually really like it on top. It's really, really nice. Okay, now let's move on to the other side. So I'm going to take my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm going to use the shade Vanilla. I'm going to do the same thing that we did with the Natasha Denona concealer. I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand first. I'm going to take my concealer brush and just start applying it to the outer corner first, and then bring it down the side of the nose. The technique is the same. It's just if you apply it on top of the foundation or underneath the foundation. And if it's more of a full coverage concealer or a lighter coverage, I like to use a lighter coverage concealer on top of my foundation and then a fuller coverage concealer for underneath. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it to the outer corner now. And this concealer shade matches my foundation so well. Okay, if the foundation that I'm using really covers up the blemishes, I won't apply a concealer on top of the blemish, but there are some blemishes that are peeking through, so I'm just going to apply it right on top of the blemish. And I do go in with the applicator right on blemish just for like a kind of like a pinpoint concealer. And I do kind of let this sit for a little bit. I'm just going to blend around the edges of the concealer with the N16 brush. Now our under eyes are concealed, so now we can move on to adding structure to the face. See you guys in the next video. Bye!